Welcome back to Access Carolina. It's a tough subject, but that's all the more reason to talk about suicide prevention. We've got Dennis Gillan here, the Executive Director of the Half a Sorrow Foundation. Welcome. Good to see you as always.
Well, thank you for having me, and I appreciate you taking on this tough subject.
Yeah, for people who don't know you, you're a mental health advocate specializing in suicide prevention. You're giving a talk next week at Center Stage that we want people to know about. Give us that overview.
Sure. I often get hired to do my talk all over the place. I decided I wanted to do it in my hometown. So I put a flag in the ground. I put money down. I rented the theater, and we're doing it on Tuesday, March 18th.
Yeah, and we'll put those details up, but people are really drawn into this conversation. There's a lot to it. After you lost two brothers to suicide 11 years apart, you've been advocating like this. During your talk, you're going to share about your journey toward recovery. So the journey is ongoing.
Oh, it's ongoing. I don't think I'll ever get there. I miss my brothers, and today, March 10th, is my older brother's birthday, so I really miss him today. I could feel it on these anniversaries, but it's good. We need to talk about it, and it starts with suicide prevention, but we go upstream when we talk about mental health. So that's what the target is, a stigma around mental health.
And you talk about something I think everybody can relate to. You talk about loneliness as an epidemic. You say loneliness is the new smoking, and it's dangerous. So you teach people how to not withdraw, how to not isolate. Do we have a tendency to do that in this day and age?
Especially when you're suffering from a mental health condition, you don't feel like peopling, as they say, and you pull away, you withdraw. And when I did a TEDx talk on loneliness, I was lonely. I was going through a divorce at the time. And the person said, "Why'd you pick that topic?" I said, "Well, you write what you know." And I was lonely. So through some hiking clubs here in Greenville, the tennis center, I got out of my apartment. And I think it's time we get out and then meet at the Center Stage Theater and talk about this stuff. So it's good to see people back after COVID doing group things.
Yeah, this is definitely a step in the right direction. Through your Half a Sorrow Foundation, you run meetings for survivors of suicide loss. Give us your mission. What is it that you're working towards?
Sure. One, after a loss, we want to let people know they're not alone. A loss from suicide it's a tough one. It's a tough, complicated grief. So we run a meeting for loss survivors, and then what we really do is at the front end, we hope no one ever has to come to our meeting. We do prevention work. And we get our name from the Half a Sorrow Foundation. A shared joy is a double joy. A shared sorrow is half a sorrow. So the more we talk about it.
Yep, you don't go through it alone.
The smaller it becomes. It never goes away.
For your speaking event next week, you say the audience will laugh, they will cry, they will definitely be glad they came. What are they going to get out of it? What's that going to be like?
Well, no one ever expects to laugh at a suicide talk, but mostly the laughter or humor is aimed at me from what I did and when I bumbled through life trying to get recover. And I had one woman come up to me one time. She goes, "You owe me money for mascara." I laughed and I was crying at the same time.
Gladly.
And the laughter helps disarm people. And then I get the message. Now I can go right for the heart and tell them, like, life is worth living. Stay with us.
It's a beautiful message, and it's something that if you turn that grief, if you turn that sorrow into communicating with people, what does that do? You're making such an impact.
Oh, I tried to explain it to someone, and I was going on this long speech, and she said, "Your misery has become your mission." And she nailed it. That's what, I don't want anyone to go through what my family went through twice. So let's talk about mental health up front. Let's talk about it at Center Stage Theater. Let's get it out in the open. And then afterwards, there's a reception at Limoncello. So.
Oh, well, that's going to be just lovely, too.
A little dessert.
Obviously, going to the talk is where all this information is going to come. But people watching right now that go, I guess I'm not getting out much. I've been having some sadness about some things. What do you want them to know?
It's work. I get it. I totally get it. I've been there, and especially after I lost my younger brother. Just give time to yourself and be kind to yourself. Treat yourself. I always say, treat yourself like a kid. Like if you're having a rough go of it, don't beat yourself up. Just say, you know what, Dennis, not your finest moment. You got this. Let's get out of this apartment.
Yep, absolutely. Get out there, connect with the people, because there's a lot of people who, are in the same boat, and we're stronger together. Dennis Gillan, thank you so much. We appreciate it, and it's going to be an excellent event. It's the Suicide Prevention and Mental Health Talk. It's called It's a Tough Subject, from Dennis and his Half a Sorrow Foundation. It is Tuesday, March 18th at 7 o'clock at Center Stage in Greenville, and that is followed by a reception at Limoncello. Tickets are free on Half a Sorrow's website, but there's a suggested $15 donation.